Yes, guys, the keyboard warriors are out today. So listen, I thought I'd use someone's ignorance and prejudice as an opportunity for education. Because this page is all about education. So let me tell you a story. I got a DM telling me to go back to my own country. It said people like me are watering down Anglo-Saxon purity and ruining what Britain used to be. And I thought, perfect, let's actually talk about history. Because the idea of a fixed, pure Anglo-Saxon Britain isn't just wrong, it's not historical. First things first, the Anglo-Saxons were not indigenous to Britain. They were migrants. From around the 5th century, groups from what we now call modern-day Germany, Denmark, and the Netherlands, Angles, Saxons, Jutes, moved into Britain after the Romans left. And they didn't return home. They displaced, absorbed, and mixed with the existing population. Romano-Britons, Celts, and earlier peoples who had arrived on the islands thousands of years ago. So if we're being historically honest, Anglo-Saxon England itself is a product of migration, invasion, conflict, and cultural change. And this is the part people never want to sit with. Before the Anglo-Saxon, Britain was already diverse for its time. It had been part of Roman Empire for nearly 400 years. Roman Britain included people from Africa, the Middle East, and the Mediterranean. Britain wasn't some sealed ethnic container. It was already connected to the wider world. So the idea that Anglo-Saxons arrived and created a static, eternal British identity, that's fantasy. And after the Anglo-Saxons came Vikings, Danes, Norse settlers, the Norman conquest in 1066, another invasion by the way, Flemish weavers, Huguenots, Jewish communities, Irish migrants, Caribbean, South Asian, African migration post-empire. Every single period reshaped language, food, culture, law, religion, and identity. And English itself is a hybrid language with Germanic roots, Latin influence, and French vocabulary. So when someone talks about Anglo-Saxon purity, they're talking about something that never existed. So why does this idea survive? Because myths are useful. A myth of purity allows people to say, you belong and you don't. It turns history into a weapon, and it turns identity into a border. But the real history does the opposite. It shows that Britain has always been shaped by movement, mixture, and culture. The country didn't decay because it changed. It exists because it did. And here is the irony. The same people telling others to go back home to where they came from are defending an identity that itself was formed by invasion, migration, and assimilation. History doesn't support ethnic purity. It dismantles it. So no, I won't go back to my country because Britain has never been one thing, never belonged to one group, and never stood still long enough to be pure. So if you want to talk about history, let's talk about it properly, because the past doesn't fear facts, only myths do.